Hey everyone, Stephen Hack here with Career Watch, where we help you with your career search. In today's video, we're going to interview Kenny, an insurance sales agent from North Carolina. Kenny first worked at State Farm before going out on his own. He has a YouTube channel and Instagram, both called KennyJTV. So stick around for some information on what it's like being an insurance sales agent. Okay, I'm here with Kenny Jones from Insurance and Wealth Builders, LLC. Kenny has a YouTube channel called KennyJTV. Thanks for joining me today, Kenny. Kenny's an insurance sales agent. We're going to talk about what it's like being an insurance sales agent in 2021. So just to start things off, a lot of people have a hard time determining the difference between an insurance agent and an insurance broker. Kind of what is that difference?
Yeah, so the insurance agent has the insurance company's best interests at heart. So think of like State Farm or Allstate, and you're looking for car insurance. They're going to give you the deal that company has to offer, opposed to a broker, someone like myself. We're shopping rates of different companies, and we're going to find the best rate possible for you because we have the client's best interests at heart.
Gotcha. So the agent is kind of on your side.
Yeah.
So what are the requirements to become an insurance agent? Typically, it's just like a state license, right?
Correct. So you have to be 18 years old. You have to go through a pre-licensure course, which is through Kaplan. I've heard WebXF or something like that. Different pre-licensure courses you can take. You sit for about 20 hours per license. It depends on the state. And then you sit for the state exam. The state exam for me in North Carolina was about 60 questions. 45 was for the insurance knowledge, and the other 15 was more so the state laws. Once you get that, you apply for your license. In about 2 to 3 days, you'll get those license once you complete your fingerprints and all the necessary background checks.
And you can do this right after high school. You don't need a bachelor's degree. You don't need an associate's degree. You can just get this certification right after high school, right?
Right. Well, I think it's so lucrative to do that. A lot of people go right into college and not knowing what they want to do. But I know so many people in the insurance industry that make six figures. The insurance and financial services industry has the most millionaires out of any industry in the world.
I believe it. Probably them in real estate.
Yeah, right.
High-end real estate agents probably do pretty well too. And yeah, so I remember looking at the breakdown. The government did a survey in 2017 of insurance sales agents. About 40% of them do have a bachelor's degree, but a large percent of them they have an associate's degree. They just have a high school degree or high school diploma. So there is quite a breakdown. Is there an advantage to, going to college for this occupation? Do you think it helps with sales? Does it help with leadership? What do you think?
So for me personally, where my college degree has came into effect is networking. I feel like before I went to college, I didn't know a ton of people, but after going to college, now some of my friends are lawyers, some of them are doctors. I have that bigger network now, and that's the main place where it's helped me. Other than that, once you get your license, you kind of learn from mentors and people that have been in the industry longer than what you have.
So like to pass this state exam, how long does it usually take? I mean, how long do you usually have to study a long time? And usually it's pretty cheap, right? It's only like, I've seen $400, $500. It really depends on the state, but pretty cheap.
Yeah, so including everything that I did, so for the state exam, for the pre-licensure, applying for my license, it was a little under $500, so it's very inexpensive. Studying, I would say for each license exam, study for about 2 weeks. The first week is really reviewing or going through the information, learning information, and then the second week would be more so studying and reviewing and make sure that you have all of it in your brain and you understand the concepts. I see a lot of times where people do rush to try to go ahead and pass the exam, and they end up failing because they try to cram all of the information in. It is a lot of information, and you have to take your time. It's not like when you're in high school or when you're in college and you just let me cram the day before. The insurance exam is not that type of exam.
Do you have to redo it? You have to get recertified every year or two, or is it just you get certified once and you're good to go?
Yeah, you take the exam, and then every 2 years you have to do the continuing education. It's pretty simple. You read through some passages, you answer some questions. I haven't actually had to do continuing ed yet because I just got my license in 2020. But you do have to do that every 2 years in order to keep your license active.
That's pretty much, so many occupations are like that. You don't just pass an exam. You usually have to get recertified again and again, just because the state wants to make sure you know what you're doing. So I read that you worked at State Farm. What was that experience like? Would you recommend someone start off as an insurance sales agent working for State Farm, or would you think maybe another area, another company, or another industry might be better?
State Farm was definitely amazing. State Farm is the biggest and number one insurer in the country. I knew that when I got to the insurance industry, I wanted to work for myself, but I needed that experience. So why not go for the biggest and the best insurance company? I think that most people should go to State Farm or Allstate, start captive before you go independent so you can get that knowledge, because there's nothing like starting from ground zero. You have no salary, no anything, and you're starting your business, and then you also lack knowledge. That kind of diminishes your credibility as an insurance agent because you don't have that knowledge, and then you don't have those mentors, people that you can lean on, like State Farm. If I didn't know something, I had my agency owner, I had my manager, then I had State Farm, like the big cloud. So I always had the answers that I needed, which helped me when I became an independent agent owner.
And it seems like State Farm would kind of provide some kind of stability. It's a lot of stability in the beginning, because you do, I know some insurance sales positions, they're 100% commission, and you probably do need that stability in the beginning, right? Like between commission and base salary. So
definitely to build your network up and things. So you do get a base salary starting out with State Farm. I believe Allstate is the same way. So that base salary is kind of like, if you don't sell anything, at least you have this. So that makes you feel a little more comfortable and not as pressured to sell. Of course, if you're hungry and you want to, be better, of course you're going to sell and make that money on top of the base. But no matter what, you get that base. So people with families, people that have dependents, I highly recommend going captive first, see how that works for you, and then venture out into independent.
And captive, in your definition, captive would be employed, and non-captive would probably be owning your own business, getting your own leads.
Correct.
Setting up contracts.
Yeah, pretty much. So captive is like for the big companies. So I can't sell anybody products but State Farm. I can't sell Allstate's. I can't sell anybody's. But when you're independent, you can shop 5, 10, 15, 20 different companies' rates and give the client the best rate possible. So let's say I shop through Allstate and Allstate's rates are too high. I can now go to Progressive and see if their rates are better. I'm representing multiple companies, where captive is only representing one company.
So you've been an insurance sales agent for a pretty long time now. What's your favorite kind of insurance to sell? Which one has the highest commission? Is it life or health?
Yeah, life insurance definitely has the highest commission. I've seen as high as 150% commission on the first year annual premium.
Wow.
So essentially you're getting paid more than what they actually pay the first year. A lot of life insurance is like that. My second favorite, or my tie for first place, would be commercial. It is very lucrative on the PNC side. And a lot of times I look at it as, if I have a company, I'm not going to get up and switch my insurance like talking, opposed to car insurance. The average consumer will leave their car insurance carrier for $10 to $15 less, where a business, that's a lot of paperwork to switch everything over, and they need that insurance, to be in business. Where car insurance, you need it legally, but we know there's people out here driving without insurance. But for a business, you'll be so quick to get shut down without that insurance.
That's crazy, because yes, so many people will go just bottom feeding, lowest price for car insurance. Yeah. When you say commercial insurance, what kind of, is that insurancing? Is that using insurance for the assets of companies, or is it, I guess, what encompasses commercial insurance?
Yeah, it's very broad. The most popular is general liability. So let's say I have a coffee shop and somebody comes and slips and falls, they would sue me and I'll be liable. So any type of third party injury is general liability. You also have professional liability. So for insurance agents, accountants, we have something called errors and omissions. So if I make an error and I'm sued, that will cover me. And then for doctors, it's called medical malpractice.
Right.
So everybody's covered. So it's different avenues in commercial. We also have business owner policies. Let's say I have a building, like is it called brick and mortar? Is that what they call it? The brick and mortar, the buildings. It covers that as well. Your business property, your computers, and things like that. So a lot of times when you go to a commercial agent, you tell them what type of business you have and what you're trying to cover, and they can tailor that policy to what you need.
That's fascinating. There's even YouTube insurance for people that say controversial things. and they
Yeah.
want to be shielded from libel, they'll
Yeah.
they'll work with some social media insurance company or carrier. I'm not even sure how it works, but they draw up contracts for that kind of stuff. It's fascinating.
Yeah,
You can
it's
get
literally
insurance for so many different things these days.
anything. I had a client reach out to me and said she needed wedding insurance. Like, I mean, it's
Wow.
literally insurance for everything in life. There's some type of insurance for it. It's amazing because you do want to, be protected in case the unfortunate happens.
And yeah, like I guess it does make sense. Certain weddings, especially in New York, California, they can be $60,000, $70,000 and up, depending on the wealth of the family.
Right. Exactly.
So for people that are really interested in doing this, what are the traits of a successful insurance agent?
You have to be aggressive. You have to really be a people person. If you don't like people or reaching out to people and you don't want to seem annoying, insurance sales isn't the best way for you. You have to really be able to get out there and put yourself out there and market. If you're not really a people person, like I said, I don't think it's for you. You can still be in insurance, but more so on the underwriting side or the claim side, just not the face. Because I feel like insurance sales is the face of insurance because we are the ones selling the product. And you can't be easily discouraged. I saw this quote. Somebody asked, I think it was Jeff Bezos, what are some words of encouragement you would give for an entrepreneur? He said, if you need words of encouragement, you shouldn't be an entrepreneur. You have to be, you have to be self-motivated. And if you have that self-motivation and know that you can be successful, because it's been done before, and that's how I look at it. So-and-so is a millionaire in insurance, and if he can do it, I know that I can do it. It just takes that determination, that ambition, and that resilience, because you're going to get no's, you're going to get people that might be upset, might cut you out, but you just got to take it with a grain of salt. Don't take it personal and just keep going. I think it's 6% of insurance agents last past the third year. I mean, it's pretty rough. So
30 years. Yeah. It seems like this wouldn't be a good occupation for introverts. I mean, you're just talking to people all day, every day. The definition of introversion versus extroversion. Introversion is like you're drained by talking to other people. Extroverts gain energy from talking to other people. So it really seems like you're somewhat introverted. This might be not the best occupation for you, but if you still want to work in insurance, maybe underwriting might be a better occupation for you, or maybe a broker. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it just depends. Definitely underwriting, I would definitely say, because you're necessarily dealing with the agent. So let's say once you submit a policy up, let's say life insurance, and they say they didn't smoke, the underwriter, they pull all the medical records and stuff, and it says they smoke. So then the underwriter will send you a message like, hey, they said they didn't smoke, give them a chance to, be honest, because we see that they obviously smoke. So the underwriters are more so dealing with agents, and the agents 8 times out of 10 have sense, and they're not aggressive to the underwriters. So we're kind of understanding, because those are the people that are issuing our policies. And in order for us to get paid, the policies have to be issued. So definitely, if you're more introverted, underwriting is definitely the way to go.
So do you think sales can be taught, or is it something that you can learn over time? What do you think about that?
So I definitely think sales can be taught over time. If you have the energy, if you have the vibes, if you're like, I want to be better, I want to learn, then it's fair game. People that are closed-minded and don't like criticism, they're not going to be successful in sales. You have to be able to learn. If somebody were to reach out to me that's been in sales 20, 30 years, longer than I've been alive, I'm willing to listen, because I don't know everything, and every day in insurance period, it's a learning experience. So it definitely can be taught with the right attitude and the right positivity and emotions.
As far as like the entrepreneurship of, I think last time I checked with insurance sales agents, about 12% of them like are self-employed out on their own. Mm-hmm. So a little over 1 out of 10. So yeah, it seems like a lot of insurance sales agents will stay working at like a big company like State Farm or Allstate. But yeah, there always is that option to go out on your own if you're a little bit more ambitious, if you want a little bit more, mm-hmm. well, possibly a lot more money. But yeah, it's quite an occupation. What kind of insurance do you own, out of curiosity?
What kind of insurance I have on myself?
Yeah. I guess you have your own insurance, like you're your own agent, but
Right. I have Arizona Missions on my company, so any agent that works under me is covered under my insurance. Cool. Of course, I have car insurance in my apartment. I have renter's insurance. I have life insurance. I have a whole life policy on myself. Is that all the insurance I have right now? Yeah, that's all. You would think I would have more, but that's all the insurance I can think of right now that I have.
It's funny. I didn't use, I've had car insurance with USAA for 14 years, never used it. My wife was driving to DuPont Circle to pick up some shawarma, and she got in a wreck, and it was like a $8,000 bill. It covered it. And even before that, I was like, oh my God, I've been paying, this auto insurance. I've never used it for 14 years. And then there was just that one incident, and I'm so happy I had collision, liability. I had a pretty good policy, so it pretty much covered all of it. So yeah, it's definitely comes in handy when you need it.
It does, and people always say you don't need insurance until you need it. Like, you know, people with life insurance, I don't need it. I'm gonna live forever, but who really plans on dying, you know? And the thing is, with car insurance, it's by law you need it. Homeowners insurance, you need it by law. But it's like, why are we not protecting the inevitable? Like, we know we're going to die, and then anytime you go on GoFundMe and you type in funeral, there's a million searches nearly any time. So consecutively, people are dying. Up to a million people are dying and don't have life insurance every day. So it's just like, we got to do better, you know?
And that's a whole different discussion, you know. What is it? It's like life. No, it's term versus two different. Whole life versus term, and there's a whole controversy there, which one's better to go with. Whole different discussion. But yeah, there's a lot of intricacies with insurance. Just got to make sure, it sounds like you just have to make sure you have a good agent that's looking out for your interests.
Yeah, a lot of times they may sell you something that's not best for you, but best for their pockets, and that's when you have to be careful. Definitely ask questions and see, what does this mean? Because you never want to be confused on something that you're paying a whole lot of money on, and then, you know, let's say you get in a car accident, or God forbid you die, and now with some confusion of what, you know, you really had, you definitely don't want that to come up. You know, you're already in an accident, your loved one already died, and now you're, you know, disputing things with the insurance company.
Well, thanks so much for coming on, Kenny. Really appreciate you sharing your story, how you got into the occupation, and all these details about becoming an insurance sales agent. It's a great occupation because, I mean, just looking over the past, since 1999, there's been a huge growth in the number of insurance sales agents. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll have to do this again sometime.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
If you have any further questions on becoming or working as an insurance sales agent, leave a comment down below. And definitely check out my video on insurance sales agents. There I go over salaries, the job market, and other details. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.